I'm Vincent Lim, and I'm a senior strategist at Crimson Education, working primarily with Japanese students here with the Crimson Japan office. I've worked in admissions consulting for over 6 years, and I've worked in higher education for over 10 years. My goal with students is really to help them shine in the U.S. admissions process, and I'm really into shaping students' narrative so they can really tell a story to help them stand out when they eventually kind of submit, and I've helped students get into a number of top schools. So I graduated from UCLA with both my bachelor's and my master's. My bachelor's was in history, my master's was in education, specifically focused on higher education. Before joining Crimson and working in an admissions consulting space, I worked at a university in Los Angeles, USC, in various different roles, and really got a great understanding of what it takes to build a great university, but also the kind of unique processes of each kind of universities. Also kind of worked as a merit scholarship application reviewer for UCLA and really got an understanding of who does get admitted and who doesn't get admitted to a top school like UCLA. The students that I work with come from a number of backgrounds, but my particular area of focus is humanities with my background in history, but I've also worked with students for computer science, technology, and business, but definitely feel most comfortable working with students on kind of majors that revolve around humanities, and really, regardless of the student though, really helping them shape their narrative, because that is really kind of my strength in building the story, telling everybody's story as kind of a historian would do. So I've helped students get offers from over 100 US and Canadian universities, including top universities like Harvard, Stanford, many of the Ivy Leagues, including Columbia, UPenn, but also top private institutions like U Chicago and Duke, along with top public institutions like UC Berkeley and UCLA, as well as University of Michigan, and other popular and also top ranked universities like NYU and USC. And I feel like I can help any student get into the schools that they really want to get into. So my students would definitely say the way that I kind of build rapport, that the way that I kind of connect with them is intellectual in a way. I ask a lot of very difficult questions, and I expect students to also really reflect and think deeply about their lives, because I believe that leads to the most powerful kind of stories in their entire application, not just their essays. And that can really help them stand out in the admissions process. So a lot of my work is really helping students to think deeply, and I hope students really appreciate and enjoy that process. Definitely one of my main strengths is really getting students to open up and tell the stories that are important to help them stand out in the admissions process. From my experience working previously as a journalist, previously in PR and in marketing, do understand how to help students kind of brand themselves and help them kind of develop messages. And that's something I have always kind of loved to do with students. And I do, from my experience, really understand what it takes to get into these top schools. And it's definitely making sure you have a really strong personal brand. And I feel that's something that is very important part of my strategic process, and definitely a strength. What I would tell students, regardless of where they are in the process in the high school, is to really think about their personal story, what they really want to tell in the admissions process, in their application, because that is what really helps them stand out. And that's what I feel has made my students who got into many top schools stand out, really thinking deeply, reflecting on what it is that makes them different, who they are as people, and really conveying that to the admissions committee and hopefully having that resonate with them.